And hello, hello, hello again. We are here at the Out of the Mud Universe Studios, and this is Let's Talk with Big Tone and Families and Communities. That is the title, Families and Communities, with special guest Tameka Thompson and Terralisa McBride. And here we go with Big Tone. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? I'm glad to be back with y'all. I got a special topic today. We're going to be talking about communities and families, all of that type of stuff. First thing I want to say is what's up to Tara Lisa?
Hey
How you
y'all.
doing? She got a snaps and chats. She got a show that's broadcasted. We got Tameka over over
Hey.
here with Just Keep Going. We on Out the Mud Inc. today. And today our topic is going to be families and friends and communities, and what are you doing to uplift your community and make it better. And I want people to call in because I really like this subject. I really want to know and hear what everybody's doing in their neighborhoods. Tara Lisa, what do you do to uplift your
Man, I
neighborhood?
do a lot. For one, I think that the best thing to do is get these kids off these tablets, off
Yeah.
these phones, off these computers, get them back outside, break out the kickball or something, do
Right,
some family events together.
right.
And then in the community, I do things like where wherever I go with my grandbabies, I try to interact with them doing stuff.
Hmm.
If I'm dealing with the church, I'm trying to help them with the kids, coaching them on whatever they need. I used to write poetry for the children in the church so that they can understand how to express themselves.
Right,
So I do a lot of things like that. But I think the best thing to do is we need to, as parents, get back out in the groove with our kids again. Get them together.
right,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you know what, growing up, as a young man, the one things that I wish I would have had more of is positive role models. It,
Hmm.
it people, guys who I hung out with, wasn't trying to do positive things. They weren't trying to do things in the communities, and I just feel like when I was younger, if I would have had maybe somebody to say, "Hey, that's not cool. You shouldn't do that, or concentrate on this." I was big into sports. I feel like I was an athlete, and if I would have been focused on the right things, I think things would have went differently. So I think right now we need more role models.
I think the school should step back in again and start disciplining kids. Whereas, remember, they used to have outside recess,
Right.
in school detention. I know it's harsh to say that, but I think that really made kids really think about messing up out in the real world.
Right. What about you, Tamika?
I coach and mentor.
Right.
So I definitely try to give back to the community.
Okay.
Oh, I try to give back to the community in that way. And in instances where we have the
Volume.
children who
Mhm.
okay, I'm turning the I think it's
How you
down.
doing, Mrs. Starks? Can you
Somebody's
hear me?
volume.
Okay. Turn her volume down. Turn your volume up or on. We can't hear you.
Yeah. It's I think that, like I said, with more role models, I think more getting out in the community to, like you said, I can't believe even my son how attached they are to devices, and
Yes.
how when I was growing up, man, I can remember coming home from school, the first thing I wanted to do was go outside, and it's
Hmm.
just different now.
Well, a lot of it is we had stuff to do and places to go. Like a lot of us now are not in communities that have a lot of kids. Everybody's bust, so they don't know the kids that are in their neighborhoods. Like we've lost that community structure.
Right.
Hmm.
Um, Everybody's scattered about, so they don't know each other. When I grew up, we all walked to school together and
Yeah.
walked home together. It was a big community.
Hmm.
We all got off of our got out of school and ran together because
Right.
we all went to school. That we did everything
I think
together.
it's time to device the vice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That the devices are a vice for our young youth, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
They need to let go of the device and think of something else to do. I mean, even like you said, in the community, in our neighborhoods,
Right.
I remember we used to have like youth quest, and
Mm-hmm.
the lady would come out in our own personal neighborhoods, and we go into abandoned houses, not into them, but clean up the yards, take a lawnmower, cut the grass. She would never pay us, but they gave us pizza, whatever juice we
Right.
wanted, took us to skating or whatever fun thing that to do.
Yep.
It wasn't all about that. And I think that if we get back to that's what I'm all about, getting back to the community.
Right.
Terry, do you remember Oak Park right down the road? They used
Hmm.
to have a community center and they opened it up. They had the balls and they had skates and jump ropes and everything. We had community areas,
I
community
know. And
events.
I'm come on now. We live in Flint. Everybody want to dog our city, right? Everybody want to put us down like we don't have this. I'm not going to drop no names and people, but I'm going to say everybody know what I'm talking about. It's funds around here that need to go back to the city and
Yes.
also build up the buildings and things like that that's
The
abandoned
parks
now,
and stuff
parks
like
and
that. Yeah.
recreation. Bring something back for our kids to be proud of.
Right.
That's why everybody trying to run away from here.
Sister Starks,
Okay,
what
but
do you
I just need to jump in here,
go ahead?
please. I'm from Gary, Indiana, and you can't get any more hoodie than Gary, Indiana. But what the sister said about the community, I worked for Michigan State University for years, part of a federal grant program where we put money into communities. We tried to make residents of public housing. I was in Pontiac, I've been in Flint, I've been in Hamtramck, you name it, I've been there. We tried to make the residents self sufficient so they could then build their communities up, utilize that money for yourself. Now, I agree with you, sister, but you got to remember this when we
When
start
I
getting
get
funds from
done, they say
outside sources, we give control of our communities back to a form of government. And when that form of government has an entity with those funds, they can dictate how you distribute those funds. I went to Ben Harbor several times to meet with residents of public housing. At that particular time, sister, you probably know that each resident that lived in public housing was allowed $15 per unit. When I got to the parking lot, this is the God heaven knows truth, I was met with some sisters that scared me, but I said this: we either go into this meeting with your executive director so you all can get this money. They needed new cabinets. Now you figure Ben Harbor back then, you're getting ready to throw away $5,000 because you want to show me that you're the tough sister. So this is what I said to her. You want to make some changes since you're the one that's directing this crowd of women that's trying to scare me. We're going to turn around and get back in Michigan State's car, and our money's going to go with us and your executive director. Because if you don't have a sign in sheet, you cannot turn that into HUD to say that you're entitled to that $15 per occupied unit. What I'm saying to you guys, I'm all for community. I came out of a community where everybody knew us on the block. If you're going to restore the community, we need to take away from the kids the babysitters that we gave them. 2019, we gave every kid a Chrome notebook.
Right.
That kid is tied today to that Chrome notebook. A lot of our kids, I don't know if you know this, ma'am, but the scores just came out for Michigan. We're at the bottom for test scores for reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Wow.
We found a substitute babysitter. Like when you came along, we didn't have a Chromebook. We had a rock and a stick. We built a clubhouse. We stayed
That's
outside.
kind of that's really what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the money part about it all. The financial part is always going to be the part that burn either side. No, I'm talking about getting back to the community with taking all these devices away from the children and
Yes,
building up
ma'am.
our community, which means not by the money from the hands of the government or any official that's given to us. It's families. It starts at
It
home.
does.
If you got your in my home, I take my grandbabies outdoors. I do different things with them. I do things to show them that there's other ways to engage
Yes.
in the world and do stuff other than what money has to offer anybody. We all know that when I said it about the city and the money, I'm basically talking about the money that's been bought to the city, that's for the city, that's not being used for the city,
And
and I'm
it's
not
never
picking
gonna
anybody.
it's never gonna be used for the city. I'm
Exactly.
telling
So
you,
I'm
it's
trying to
never
stay
gonna
away
be.
from that part. I'm not the politic person, and I'm not doing it.
Mm-mm.
I'm basically talking about the community, the youth, and families. And you don't need money to do any of that.
Right. So what do you think, Mr. Rogers? What do you think? What do you do for your community to make it better? Can you hear
what
me?
do I do for my community to make it better?
Yes, sir.
Uh, Not cause any problems. I speak to everybody, and just keep an eye out. I guess in the wintertime, I shovel the neighbor's driveway,
Right.
That's
sidewalk,
nice.
just just to have that that openness, and where if they need to communicate something to us, that they feel comfortable doing that, because a lot of times people feel uncomfortable because they don't want to get in their neighbors
because
or
I
their
think
other people's business.
I think, uh, Marquis, what I really think that is because we're not a community anymore. Everyone
Exactly.
is an individual.
Hmm.
right.
We live
It's
in our
all
Exactly.
for
individual
self.
houses. Yep.
Self,
Yeah.
money for self,
Yep.
self, self, self.
Oh,
That's all they want to
Yeah.
do.
oh my
Yep.
God, I
I
can
was
remember growing up when I like my aunt said, I grew up in Gary, Indiana. Man, it was everybody knew me. If you got in trouble at
right.
school, you got whooped at school. You might
Right.
got whooped 2 times before you even got to the house.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I really like it definitely takes a village to raise these kids,
Hmm.
and now
Hey.
it's just not
And I
like
know
that.
we'll never go. I was born in the 70s, and I know we will never go back to those old ways. I mean, the best thing we can do is try to mimic it and keep
Right.
going forward and teaching these kids that it's not okay to just sit in a house and do
Right.
nothing. I mean,
Right.
Right.
some kids don't even do chores around the house
Oh
anymore
my
to even
God.
You
understand
ain't
how real
lying.
it is to earn a dollar. They don't
That's
value
right.
a dollar.
Oh my
They don't value a quarter, let alone.
God.
They
Right.
don't
No.
have any value of anything. They don't have self worth. They don't have any of that. It's been stolen from them. And I'm trying to say that with families and communities being together or starting your own home, command all that respect back.
Right.
Command it back. Do
Right.
something different. That's what I'm doing. That's the difference that I'm
Oh,
making
this
in
is
my personal community first in my home. I'm starting there.
That's what's
And I'm
up.
gonna
So
let it spread.
wow.
all of my kids are grown,
That's
and I'm an
crazy.
empty nester, but I mentor young women from the age of
Ah,
10 to 18. I mentor around, I'm teaching them about life skills, you know what I mean, not just social
right.
skills. our,
Exactly.
our, our
Right.
kids don't know basic life. They
Hmm.
wouldn't know how to write a check to save their lives, and they want to always scan a card and all of that. And every place doesn't take that, and businesses don't take that. They don't understand about bills and budgeting. They don't understand about
Credit.
real self-care or
Yeah.
credit. Like, these are the
Right.
things. Like, it is a new world, it is a different world, and as much as we want to take the technology away from them, we're on a show that's based on technology.
Right.
Exactly.
Technology makes money. What can we do so that we can work together to give the core values, and they can teach us
Exactly.
how to.
And I'm not, I agree because I'm not saying take away all the technology,
Right.
but if, as she stated earlier, the babysitter,
Right.
if you get rid of,
Absolutely.
fire the babysitter,
Right.
fire the babysitter.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
And give time limits.
And give time
Two
limits.
hours
Yes.
you can, or hour
Yes.
here, and like you said, chores. These kids are in this world with no responsibilities, and then we unleash them,
And a
and
little respect.
we unleash them, and they have no idea how to cope.
You say
Right.
we
Okay,
unleashed
and
them.
I just like to say this, guys, because I am in the parking lot, and I wanted to be a part of this. Communities are so important, but nowadays, whoever's a part of your village, you have to make sure that you all are on the same page, because a lot of
Yeah.
people today, they're not on the same page. They may look good, smell good,
Oh my
walk good,
God.
Right.
but you're dealing, sisters and brothers, you're dealing with a lot of broke parents. You're dealing with
Yes.
a lot of broke grandparents. You're dealing with a lot of people that have trauma. Let me just say this. Yesterday at
How do you heal
school,
from that though? How do
I'm
you
going to
heal
tell
from
you.
being
Let me
broken?
just let me finish. We had a little kindergartner that went into a mad tantrum. It took four of us to settle her down. When we finally got this happened yesterday, got her settled down. This kid had a big marble in her mouth, and I said, "What are you doing with the marble in your mouth?" She had just been to court with her grandmother to get custody because her mother was on the run. And so I said, baby, what the? See, the marble reminded her of her mother. Her mother had given her this marble. This happened yesterday at school. It's on
Mhm.
tape.
Mm,
And I'm saying, oh
mm,
my God. Oh my God. She could have swallowed that marble. But what I'm saying to you, her community has been shattered. Her mother was on the run. That's why her grandmother ended up downtown Lansing in the
Wow.
circuit court to get custody of her. This kid cannot decipher between why she can't be with her mom, and yet she's with her grandmother, who's older than me, stressed out. now she got to take custody of this little girl. So what I'm saying, guys, I'm for
No.
community. I am for community, but nowadays most of our communities, ma'am, are broken. Broken people cannot fix broken people. So to go back to what Miss Tameka said, we have to find a way that, number one, Tony, we heal the community.
Right.
How do you do that?
Absolutely.
By telling the
You
truth, by saying to you guys, I'm broken. I need help. I need help. I'm just using me as an example. I
Mhm.
need help. We can't be honest with one another. We can't
I
tell
the
one another the
I
truth.
I think
right.
people aren't
Yeah.
honest with themselves. I
Exactly.
think there are a lot of broken. Not. I think I know that there are a lot of broken people walking around pretending to be whole, afraid to
Yes,
ask for help. And I'm gonna tell you, especially women, because we don't want, black men and women don't want to seem weak. And by asking for help, that in our mind is a weakness. And it's
yes,
unfortunate. And we need a healing circle. We need a healing community.
Hmm.
yes,
We got a question over here from
Yeah,
George.
I'm gonna say some of the things that the audience has been saying. So, Alberton Scott, uh, let a boy AJ me.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
right.
I work. I do what I work for the school janitorial Kentwood.
That's what he
Right.
does for his
Yeah,
Okay,
community.
that's what he
and
do.
then
Okay.
Willie Buford.
That's what's up, AJ.
Willie Buford said we have to change the way we teach out our young people.
Hmm.
yes,
Teach our young people hands-on project-based
Right.
learning. And then he said the best
yes,
thing to do for the community is start with the family. We aren't community
In the
because we
home.
don't have whole families.
Oh, amen.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's deep
And
right
amen.
there.
then
That's where the brokenness
they
come
That's
at.
what
also
the
said
broken
let's
is.
Yes,
talk about the culture and also broken people, broken homes, broken communities, broken schools. We have to get back to being a village.
yes,
And,
yes,
and-
I would like to put my own on top of what you all said. So, uh, I deal with all of those things personally myself with the support of the community that I've been serving. Like I can say it at the top of my lungs because I have to wag my own tail just to be recognized or noticed so I won't get drowned. So serving approximately 50,000 residents in the city during the water crisis and now, and then
uh,
being a part of the MTA creating the Vets to Wellness program, helping them do that when I was a main veteran doing it, and so many other things that I've done.
right,
It doesn't matter. I don't get awards. I don't get acknowledged. People
right.
don't respect the work. They say it, but it's in the action. It's like what somebody said earlier. You see your ideas go other places
Yes.
instead of
Mm,
people coming to you and
together.
saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, we seen what you did. We like what you did. Can we collaborate?"
Right.
Exactly.
So my thing is,
That's a good way to
I deal
mend.
with that every day in my even with Out of the Mud Incorporated Media, trying to get Black folks to understand that our power is in our voice
And our numbers.
and we need our voice to create the numbers and we have to do it together
Yes.
collectively have
The unity of it all.
have something that we can build together because when you have corporate construct that means or a collective mind state then that's when you create things
Right.
Right.
and being that using automotive again we're a corporation we're a c corp so if we do what we need to do we'll be on the same scale as a Tesla Motors or General Motors or YouTube or Alphabet Group or what any other major uh, uh, investment that you invest in would be equal and the same and more powerful because our voice is different. Imagine 2 point something trillion dollars in the voice of the Out of the Mud platform, where when we speak, people listen
Right.
and it
Hmm.
changes industry.
Right.
And you're talking about
And
a,
that's how you
a
heal.
organization that was founded and started by Black men in Flint, Michigan that have understood the struggle.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, hey, I appreciate all the input that everybody's been talking about with the community and everything. I've got another question. First, I want to give a shout out to my man James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, George Grundy the second, and Larry
F.
Lott,
Grundy.
George F. Grundy. From Out the Mud. I want to pose a question to everybody. We're talking about families and communities and all of that. I want to pose a question. How do you guys feel about getting um, paternity test or learning the father of the kids.
Okay. So
And
DNA test.
so what do you guys feel about DNA tests being mandatory when a baby is born? You get a DNA test, say, hey, this is the father of this child, right before you sign the birth certificate. I feel like myself, if we did that, it would cause trouble and it would alleviate trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because
A double-edged sword.
it's definitely
Yeah,
a double-edged sword. I've
definitely.
people have had kids and feeling like this is their kid, and um then raise these kids for 18 years and pay child support and all types of stuff. So
And you don't get none of that back.
what do you think, Tara? Do you think that would be a good idea?
I think I like the idea. I do. And I agree with you. It's going to cause problems on both ends.
Right.
The main thing is the foundation of that unity of that couple. If that
Mhm.
woman is fibrous or whatever, loose,
Hmm.
and then, or that man is hot boy, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna
It
say
don't
this:
matter.
it is worthy. It matters. If it's worthy of you, if you think that you just impregnated a woman, when that baby come, if you know she's skeptical about stepping out on you, then I say yes, a DNA test is
I,
mandatory as soon
I
as that baby come
I
out.
said what. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying federally regulated, where
Every
it's
child that's
That
born.
mandatory.
every child.
Every child
Well,
that's
then
born,
yes, yes.
you before
Without having to pay for it, yes,
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 I feel like it should be something that's on
included in the
insurance.
insurance.
Exactly, something
yes.
that's right in insurance. Where hey, we're going to make sure before you sign this birth
Because
certificate
too many people get
is
charged the wrong for the wrong child.
Right.
let's see what if this is your child, and
Okay,
I feel as a man, um there's nothing wrong with that,
I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I agree.
it's I
Me
was
too.
talking to my friend about what if they went back 50 years and did all DNA tests on kids and
There'd be a
parents
lot
and
of
all of
people
that.
upset and
it'd be
be some fighting in somebody's
it'd be a
house.
lot of
You
fighting.
know what? Hey, you know what they say? Mama's baby, daddy's
Daddy's
I was
maybe.
maybe.
thinking the same thing. That's been
Okay, let me
around
let me let me
a
throw this in
long,
here,
long
guys.
time.
Let me
Yeah.
throw
Go
this in
ahead.
here. 2023. That was 2 years ago. 2023. I believe in facts. 72 million fathers in the United States from age 16 to 55 were subject to DNA tests. A lot of those fathers, they did find out, were not the true fathers of those kids.
Wow.
Now, you
Thankfully,
guys said make it federally mandatory. They're not going to do that. If you don't get that done, where the state pays for it before that child leaves the hospital or before that mother leaves
What
the
state
hospital. Okay,
mandate?
that's yeah, yeah. That's an expensive test. Very expensive
Right.
test. Most of
That's
the
why we
young
said
women, not
we should
all
put it
of
on
them,
insurance. It should be covered with the insurance.
it should
But you
yeah, it
know,
could.
one of the things that I'm happy that they do now is before a woman can get anything, she has to declare that father from
Yes.
government money. She has to declare the father
But what if it's the
and take
wrong man?
and
What if yeah,
take a mandatory
Oh, okay.
a mandatory DNA.
Good.
Now, a lot of men don't show up, and I don't know why they don't show up, but I think they
Because
should.
they was cheating when they made that baby.
But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you
but the
about
stats say
my
that
family.
women, the babies are 40% more likely not to be the father that signed the paper.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
So
agree.
so
that's
That's
the
what
okay,
I'm
guys,
women
saying. So,
look,
cheating.
so
look,
oh
look,
yeah, I
definitely
look.
understand that too. But
yeah,
I'm just saying. But if a man, that's why I said the first thing that came out of my mouth.
yeah,
If your foundation ain't good and
Right.
the woman you
Thank
dealing
you.
with is loose,
Mhm.
you feel she is, but you still with her and she gets pregnant, you need to know if that's gonna be your
And I
child or
think
not.
that's
Right.
why guys don't show up because like, I ain't
Okay,
Exactly.
even sure
guys,
if this baby
guys,
mine.
Right. Right.
guys, at the beginning of May, we had a young African American father that had raised, and I know y'all saw it, that had raised these kids that he thought was his. He found out through DNA that none of the kids were his. He took the lives of all four of those kids. Look it up.
he took the
Mm,
lives.
Oh
mm, mm.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
he
just
he
happened.
he he just happened. He took the
Yep.
lives. He had
He should
Wow,
raised
have.
that's
those kids.
I
crazy.
ain't gonna even say what I was gonna say. But what happened to the woman? What happened to the mother?
Right.
She's still walking around, but what I'm
Uh,
saying is the key
Okay.
thing would be at the very onset, like
Yes.
Tameka
Right.
said, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
Right.
get
I
it
say
Huh.
don't
done.
have no baby if you ain't sure who that daddy is,
I'm telling
because
you.
you disrupting that man's life and you gonna mess your life up. And if a
And the
man
child.
and if the man ain't claiming that baby's gonna grow up without a daddy.
Willie
Mhm.
Buford said,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a band-aid to a gunshot wound. How about
Yes.
we go back to only having sexual relations with those we are married or engaged to be
Right.
married.
What about that?
Again,
However, until we can change our culture, yes, it's a good idea, but the culture should shame people who have babies
and they
without
sure
being married
should.
But
with
they
each
used
other.
to, and
It,
If
it
they
didn't
Used
got
stop
to.
rid
it,
of
it,
They
child
used
well, you're right
support,
to.
about that.
would
It did
They
not.
that
sure
hurt
They
the
used
men?
did.
to.
It's
Yes,
like
they
that
did.
now.
yeah.
It's like that now. You
No.
people.
Oh,
I think it is key. Like
What?
when you
you
have
think
if you
so?
have kids that you're not like say you're not married to the woman. It's
Right.
almost shameful to I have kids out of wedlock and I love my kids. I don't think anything's wrong with them because they were born out of wedlock. I guess everybody would want their kids born in wedlock, but in
In
today's
this day,
society,
it don't
it's
happen.
just not gonna happen. If
Right.
especially when you come to
I,
you
I'm
saying, hey, don't have sex until we married, like that,
I'm gonna
I
put
don't
this
know
on
if
the
See,
that's
women
gonna
right
happen.
now. If
I
a
think
woman is out here doing things with another man, her man or
Multiple
whoever
men.
man,
Hmm.
however many men, and unprotected, and she knows she's fertile, you should be ashamed of yourself
Right.
because you are creating the havoc right now.
Yes.
You are the problem. Any woman that's doing it is the problem. And I'm a woman, I'm going to stand by that because I can remember when I only got 2 kids and I know who both of my kids'
Mhm.
father is, but I know it was times where people would say, "Oh, that boy too light. That ain't that man, baby, this and this
Right,
and that." And I'm like, "Oh, I know who I was with. You ain't going to discredit me."
right.
Let me tell.
right.
So on the line of mama's baby, daddy's maybe, every man in my family we have to take like, mm, when you getting a blood test.
Right.
Willie, his firstborn, that baby had the most calm head I ever. I said this baby look like an alien, and I know he is not a Buford. Cannot be a Buford.
Oh my God.
But I went to visit him all the
Right.
time. But you know what I'm saying? That takes away the doubt. That
Mm-hmm.
takes away all of it. If you
Yes.
just go ahead
I
and then the little thing turned out to look just like him, and we all feel silly, but still, you
yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think for men, I would have no problem getting DNA tests right off top. That's gonna make both of us relaxed and
Right.
everything.
Uh-huh.
And
That foundation.
I think
Them
that
strong foundations.
females don't like that in our community because well you telling me to take a blood test you saying that I'm loose or I'm some type of hoe or something like that and
Hmm.
Not all
Right.
females. Not all
it's
females.
not that it's
Women,
Yeah.
speak up, y'all. Not all females.
Oh, I already spoke my piece. I said that. I know for a fact who mine are. And I'm saying
females are a
women,
lot like that though
They
if
are.
okay
but the
if
ones that
you
are like
came
that are childish in mind because you
right
ain't finna
Yes,
lay down with a
definitely
man and think you might not get impregnated or get up and walk away and go lay down with another man and then uncertain who your baby daddy is. I
that's
blame
crazy
you
that's insane
because
but
that's
but
that
what
happens
happens.
but
that's what it happens all the time
but
it's
here's my thing. There are women who know for a fact they have been with nobody else, that this is his child, and still get upset that he wants a DNA test.
right
Why?
It's
right that's
not a
Right.
slight to you.
Ladies,
it's
it's
not
not
It's
about that. It's
it's not
about
it's
this
not. It's
child
it's not
growing up in a
assurance.
world
Yeah.
knowing 100% who their mother and father is.
right
Right.
right
That's where
Absolutely.
a lot of the identity crisis come in
Let me
at too.
go back to the women that do uh create that havoc. The technology is the reason why women getting caught up now because there's too much information that can be had by men now. When you
Right.
didn't couldn't see nothing and couldn't trace nobody, couldn't find nobody, you see it on movies too. Like this child is not yours, king. It will be the servant from the
Right.
vagabond era, and then now the new king is a vagabond because the queen was cheap.
right
But fast forward now, women breed for success and pick for comfort. So you want to have,
Mm,
in my opinion,
your
in a
opinion.
general viewpoint, that however it sounds, a woman wants to have the best child they can have, and that's why there's only a certain percentage of men that get married and have children. So because you're gonna have women picking a certain type, and that's why you have multiple women picking that certain type, and you have these tired guys like, man, I got 18, 30
You
children,
know,
right
I just
because
finished
they
watching
pick
them
for
series.
breeding. And then the comfort
Pick
is
for
when they
breeding.
get like, oh, he's so nice, he got a little money stashed away, and he will deal with me, and they pick for comfort. in a general sense.
Mm.
Just my
And
opinion.
that means
So
they have no sense.
so
That's right.
Well, if
what
they
do you
get that
think?
man to marry them,
What
they
what
got all
Baby,
the sense in the
baby,
world.
right
No, they
now,
got
these
his sense in their pocket. That's all. Like you said, they're going
baby, right
after it.
now, these girls that's bumping.
so
That's right.
They
I
just
I
posted a video the other day. Girls say it gets wet in the park. These
hey
girls are
listen,
freaky deaky.
it is
I seen
so
some crazy video like that too.
I cannot believe how women have changed. It's almost like when I don't want to say when I was growing up, but when I was growing up, it was you wouldn't see, I don't know, women wouldn't be
Women were
It's
more
not that
discreet
they
about being
it's not that
freaky.
they have
is
changed. The fact is
is it
they
that
don't have nobody that they look up to. They don't have that guidance anymore. They don't have that respect anymore. A lot of women have lost that because
for
the
real?
grandmothers are the matriarchs. They're not These grandmothers are what, 30 years old now?
It's
You know what I'm saying?
insane.
And the
It's
grandmothers out here.
like
Exactly.
like women in my family, women that I have grown up with, they were women. They carried themselves as women. They
Prestigious.
were prestigious, and like when I talk to my girls sometimes, when I hear some of these things that girls are doing nowadays, they're worse than the guys.
They
Yes,
have
they
no
are.
self-respect.
No trust,
A
no
It's
lot of
self-respect,
them
no
are raising
guidance.
themselves.
Exactly.
It all goes back to the community.
Tanisha,
Being
That's
the
In the
because
home.
Latif said
that's
if
because
only men could get
like
pregnant.
you said, the
It'll be
shame.
like the handmaid's tale.
No,
I
hey,
just
shame
watched it.
shame is almost a thing of the past no more. It's hard to shame somebody about their actions and behavior nowadays.
It
They will
is.
It
It
is.
justify,
is.
they will
They out here
excuse.
with bonnets on their head in pajamas in Walmart. They not scared
Yeah,
of nobody.
man,
exactly.
listen.
There you
Tessie
go.
just said she has sores in her mouth from too much fellatio.
Oh yeah. That was
I don't think
horrible.
that's
That's my
that.
boy calling me too.
That's
I
awful.
don't think that's where
But
they
see,
get
The
like
those
one
sores
thing,
from.
guys, the one thing I want to say before I have to leave, I like what the sister said about communities. If we can, a little bit at a time, if we can build the community back up, lead by example. There
exactly.
are some young girls that want to be young, respectable women. There are some young African American men that want to do it the right way.
Absolutely.
But we have to start with ourselves.
Absolutely.
Let's be
Right.
honest.
Absolutely.
Start
And
with
baby steps. That's
ourselves.
all we need is baby steps. When somebody
That's all.
seeing you
Baby
doing
steps.
something positive in the community or positive in your home, and they adore you or
I
they
think so.
attach to you,
I
then
think
yes,
so.
they're going to learn something because there's a lot of people out here
He
not
called
being
me.
taught the right way to do
Right.
these things. So yes, that is absolutely true. You
Now I want to address this fraternity thing, and then I have to go because I'm driving, and I don't need the popo to give me a ticket. I believe with my whole heart, seriously, if it was a way we could get that fraternity test did before that child leaves that hospital, it would save a lot of our black men. If you
Right.
Yes,
look at
it
the
would.
statistics of black men that thought they were the dads, I believe it's statistics, lady. I looked it up before I came on the show. A lot of them poured their lives into kids that they turned out to not be their
Yes.
And may
kids.
the Lord have
You have
mercy on the
damaged that
men that
man.
killed them
You
poor
have
babies and
damaged
bless their
that kid.
families.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
See,
it's
there's got to be a way we can get it done. So, in the long run, that mother can recover if she wants to. She can recover if she wants to. This is the God heaven knows truth. The Bible tells us, and I got to bring it in here, in the last days, it's going to be 10 women to one man. And it's
it's
already like that.
listen,
Look it
it
up.
is it's
Yeah.
crazy to say that,
It's
but it's
already like that.
almost like that.
No, it ain't almost. It's
It
like that. And it said all the women going to want is to be called by that man's name. Now, that's
That's
foolishness.
the
And you
crazy.
guys
password.
may laugh,
He
but,
was a
but
counselor
this is where we're
friend. He's
headed
the
to.
greatest
Yeah.
friend.
Unless we go
Every
back to
woman
what the
knows.
sister said, a
Yeah.
little bit at a time, baby steps. And you guys got to remember this: the system does not want us to have a community
No.
where we pour into. Look what they did to the Black Panther Party.
Mhm.
Every time we get where we're getting ready to establish who we are as a people, look what happens.
Mhm.
Do your research. They don't want
Black
that
Yeah.
people
because
scared
they
to
want
be
to
leaders.
control through government funding. Look what Ronald Reagan did back in the 60s and 70s. No child left behind. Half of those kids that are not left behind can't even read today.
Mm.
We just passed them. We passed them. They cannot read today. Some of them can't even tie their own
That's crazy.
shoes. But everybody got on the bandwagon because Nancy Reagan said, no child left behind. Lansing, Michigan, hear me good. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off here because I don't want to pay the popo. We're at the bottom for the test scores.
Wow.
But
Michigan is at the bottom, guys. We just took the meet.
yeah,
We're at the bottom.
I personally don't. Those test scores are made to fund and control. So
It ain't
yeah,
got nothing to do
Thank
with our
you.
communities and
yeah,
our families and the way our
yeah.
children were brought up.
I don't,
I
I,
didn't
I
like
But
don't,
taking
but it
those
but
tests when
since
I was coming up.
I don't think that's a
I
measurement stick.
differ with you. When our kids can't read, how can you
Right.
take a standardized
Ex-
test if you can't
But
read?
Blame that
but
on the teachers
if they can't read,
And blame it
how
on the
can
and
That's
the
parents.
right.
parents for sure. I'm gonna always say it starts at home first. It starts with the parent. You should be at home doing homework with your kids and helping them how to read and understand, read and write
Yep.
the normal arithmetic. That's what they need to
Yep.
know. And then them teachers that are getting paid
Yeah.
out here to teach these children and make sure that they're educated enough to be able to pass whatever test that they studying for. And I don't agree with all those tests because just like how they're taking things away from our culture and our community, those tests have nothing to do with the way we were brought up, the things that we have to endure as our culture of black people.
or
But
our
Those books have
understanding.
nothing to do with our lives.
but those test scores,
Okay.
they have a lot to do
Then we
with
need to
being able to
then
make
we
it in
need to
life.
be
Yes, they do.
sister
No,
Definitely.
they don't.
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah,
They
yeah,
don't.
We
yeah,
need
They
to
do not.
Not
stop
to make
being
it to be able
ashamed.
to sustain a little bit,
Guys,
to
guys.
sustain. I mean,
but not make it.
you're not gonna get
Mm-mm.
the high powered
So
jobs.
so hold on. My mentor's son went to a school where they did not test. Now, he had to test to get his ACT and SATs, but they taught critical thinking. They taught
Yes,
skills where, okay,
yes.
That you're going to
yes,
use.
uh, hands on.
Conflict resolution.
Right. What our teachers now are concentrating on test scores and not teaching our kids the fundamentals. So you can't
Yes.
read if all you're learning is a test because
But you know
fundamentally
why they doing that,
learning
Miss
to
Tamika?
read is
They're
a
doing
step
that
by step.
because the schools are federally funded.
That's right.
Exactly.
They're
That's
doing it
why I
because the
say that's
money
why I
that's
say test testing and test scores have wreaked havoc in our communities because teachers are only teaching to
and
pass. They're
but
not
we
teaching
allowed
to
it to wreak havoc, Tamika. We allowed it, Tamika. Most
well,
of us don't even know who we are, and so our kids don't know who they are.
Again, at home.
Think about that.
That's
Home.
yeah.
We
One of the
So
we
things
have
I
to
always
start
say is what's
being.
the difference between school and life, right?
right,
In school, you are given a lesson and then tested.
right.
In life, you are tested that teaches you a lesson.
That's right.
right.
So the best teacher we got out here is what God created us to know as human beings, what's out here on this earth. Everything
Yeah.
from this earth is what we need to be learning from
Right.
because everything that's derived from that is what they're trying to either take from us or
Yeah.
block from
Or
us.
block from us.
They're
Yeah.
blocking things from
That,
us.
that they're blocking our thinking ability because
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
not thinking
So
critically when you're testing. You're guessing
Mm-hmm.
or memorizing.
Exactly.
That doesn't
Right.
teach you anything.
Nothing at all.
But hold on, we have some comments from Facebook. Sharon Scott said, "I think the DNA test, is good to have because you got so many kids growing up in this world. The have sisters and brothers, and what if they would meet one of their siblings and fall in love with them and find out that they're half brothers and sisters?"
That's happened with me
Oh,
with a
that's
cousin.
that's
insane.
valid. That's
Mhm.
very
That's
valid.
very
Yep.
very
A
valid.
cousin outside of wedlock didn't even know we was kin. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then it came out in the family that the
What
daddy was
about
loose.
guys? What about go back to the 30s and 40s when insects were so prevalent in our communities, and you sent that gal up north and didn't tell anybody that granddaddy was the baby's daddy?
Yeah.
What about insects?
But I
What
ain't
about
gonna
all those
take no
kids that were
credit. That
That's
started
destroyed?
in the Bible
hey.
like that too.
Yeah.
All of them had
Thank
kids.
you. What about when Big Mama told that girl, don't say nothing, and that girl had to bear the shame of raising that granddaddy's baby, and that baby, most of them were ill formed, deformed, and she had to live with that secret. What about that? If you don't want to
That's
go
It
a
was
back,
That
you
been
want
whole
to go
going
back.
on since the beginning of the
that's a
Bible.
exactly
whole different
that
ooh.
yeah
It is.
a definitely a different topic because in our community, yes,
That's hidden.
don't you do not talk about what's going on in this house. It's so many
Mm-hmm.
secrets. It's
Yeah.
so many secrets
Mm-hmm.
in
Yes.
our community.
And that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
That is
Covering things up.
oh my god. It's
Covering things
Uh,
up.
so Tanisha says, now that we know what they are doing, what are we going to do about it? Mhm.
Well, that's what we're talking about. We
Small
want y'all to call
communities,
in
small communities.
248-820-5053. Somebody call in, let us know what your question is. What you want, what you gonna do about it.
So yeah, it's crazy with the DNA test and everything like that. Another question I would like to pose is, say you're in a relationship and this woman has told you, hey, this is your baby, and let's say 5 years down the road, 6 years down the road, you find out, hey, this is not my child. This is someone else's child. What do you do then? What
As
You
a
beat her
man or a
down.
woman?
Beat her down and get your money back.
I'm gonna say, as a noble man, most men, I'm a firm believer in any household, it should be a mother and a father. It doesn't matter if it's biological, step, whatever. I believe a man and a woman in a household raising children is the best foundation any kid can ever have, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely
if they find, so that's the same as if a man or a woman thought that this man was her baby daddy, or he thought that was his kid or whatever, and he decided to stay in that child's life and help raise that child. I don't see that being a problem because, for one, him and that woman got to work something out amongst
Right.
each other. They got to come to a common ground of how this happened, why this happened. And if they can't get past that and he decided to break free of the family or leave her or whatever, and he decided to still step in and take care of that child, kudos to him.
So is he wrong if he say, hey,
No,
I can't take this.
no,
Not
This
wrong.
is too much for me.
no,
Um,
not wrong at all.
I can't be the father.
Nope.
So you think that it's okay to just say, hey, he's not going to be in the child's life anymore?
No,
What?
I don't think that's wrong if he says that. I really don't.
Right.
I just think that now this woman needs to be held accountable for what she doing, what she did. And if she had him thinking that that was the baby, his baby, what was she doing in the process?
Right.
Was she
Right.
sneaking around? Was it
Right.
somebody he know? Was it his uncle, his cousin, his friend, his daddy? Who was it?
Right.
So
Why you why?
how you gonna
But
prepare the child to live with that, guys? What are you gonna do for the child?
exactly, because they're going to be devastated, and
That's why I said I held the women accountable.
the outlook that they have on women, their mother and women.
And then what do you think that
Jada.
child's gonna grow up and do?
Right.
Probably repeat the process.
Repeat the process.
Or jump on women because he doesn't trust them.
Right? Angry all the time. And
Right.
that's why I blame a lot of women. If you a woman out here and you actively doing things with people, men,
Right.
I think that if you don't got no set man that you want to do that with, and then you just out here doing what you do, fine, do what you want to do. It's your body, whatever. But if you're gonna get impregnated, you better sit down and think about who put this baby in you, and if you really want this baby with this person,
Right.
and if you really gonna be there, if that man say he find out that that ain't his baby,
Right.
what are you gonna do? That's the question I pose. What are you gonna do?
So I want to know if we can take a sponsor break real quick. We have one of the most dynamic talents in Flint that just came in to introduce us to something that they're doing.
Okay.
And if you don't mind letting them slide in there real quick so
Sure.
I get introduced. So we're just going to take a sponsor break, helping a local business out with one of the most dynamic people in the city of Flint coming in here. So,
Right. You guys stay tuned.
right. Okay. So Sam, if you would come on in, bring what you got. We're going to let you start out and want you to let us know what you got, what you're doing, what's the name of everything, and anything else. Come on in. You live. We
Yeah,
live.
he
You live,
Watch
baby.
Channel 5 live.
Come on in, sit down, brother.
Y'all got another seat for my partner?
We don't.
We didn't prepare for all of y'all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hello.
Say,
How
so
y'all
how you doing?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me do a short introduction. So this right here is one of the most dynamic musicians from the city of Flint. Period. Point blank in the story. This man has been in the soul of Flint music, especially the apostolic. He started in Elysia, correct?
Correct.
Bishop Dunlap, correct?
That's right.
So he from the roots of the Tudor. And then, he's one of the most dynamic pianists
Okay.
to touch the piano keys.
All right.
He laying it
Like,
on thick, right?
I'm telling you, this man.
I'm sitting next to.
We need to have
I got your autograph, baby.
once we get a museum or a music awards. We probably already got it. I don't know about it. But once we get a museum and a music awards, he's supposed to be one of the people in there.
Okay.
Period. Point blank.
So,
But now he's coming here because he's saying he got some good eats too.
okay.
So
That's
we about
right.
to see what if
That's
he
right.
if his fingers and his taste buds It's about the
match.
same.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, brother.
Okay, my name is Sam Doan. I'm Flint native.
Right.
Been a musician for forever,
Okay.
30 plus years,
Okay.
and toured with the Daz Band. Yeah, Ready for the World. The
Right.
Mary Jane Girls, and a lot of local artists. John
Okay.
Connor. We just did a show down the street with BFB, the Pac-Man. I don't know if y'all know him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was at the Bauhaus doing a Tiny Desk performance.
Okay, yeah, that competition was
done by-
going on.
Nah, I told you I
yeah.
wanted you to come here and do a tiny guest
Done-
here, man. Look,
and we can still do that. We can
Let's
still
do
do
it.
that.
Nice.
Y'all heard him live.
Yeah.
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 But
Tell me about your chili, man.
yeah, so I work at Huntington's. It's been almost like 3.5, 4 years now. I've been working there with my business partner, Director Lee.
Right.
And we were just making chili for work, like just taking it to work, selling it at work.
Right.
Okay.
And we were selling out by like 12 in the afternoon. It was gone. And we was like, hold on, we got something, right?
Right.
So we started like maybe a little bit over a month ago,
Okay.
selling to the city. And it's been selling out every Friday. So hence we are here. It's a Friday, and we just,
Right.
just
Where do you sell out of? Where
delivery. Right now, it's just delivery.
Okay.
We're gonna have a food truck
Okay.
in the
How do
summer.
people get in touch with you, brother?
My number 248-747-0393. We're all over Facebook, pretty
Okay.
much every.
Wait, hold on. Y'all putting it out there. Y'all ain't tasted stuff yet. This could taste
Oh,
like
we about to
like-
taste it.
No,
Okey-dokey.
you definitely
I'm
got it.
about to get in the bag so he can get y'all a couple. So y'all got one y'all sharing.
Hey.
Terralisa gonna eat one in the background. We gonna
Y'all gotta try it. 'cause if y'all-
We got. I love. I talked to you earlier. You said you did chicken chili. That's my favorite, brother.
now,
I-
so, the white chicken chili.
Right.
I want to make sure you
You don't know nothing about no
Yeah.
chicken chili, no.
I love chicken
get
chili.
the turkey.
This is turkey.
That's a turkey. Here's the white chicken chili.
Okay.
There's a spoon in there.
Okay.
And you sell the bags.
So we sell everything.
We
It
get
comes
the
with.
setup.
It comes with.
Hold
Yeah.
on, Tone.
That's a beef.
Open it up.
It
Let's
comes
see.
with.
We got cheese.
Comes
and
with
everything.
crackers.
and-
Comes with Doritos or chips.
Yeah.
Comes with sour cream, jalapeno.
What's up,
cheese,
Tanisha? I see you, Tanisha.
and it comes with a pop. You know what I'm saying, or
Oh my
water.
God. This
Yeah.
is nice.
Hey, look, we gotta let your business partner
She
come
got.
up
Yeah,
here
she
too.
got to. She's got
Yeah.
to.
She got to come up here.
I'm gonna jump up and let her
Yeah.
sit down.
Let
She's
her.
much better at talking than I am.
Yeah. Let her on in here.
Wait a minute. We got to dress this up.
Oh yeah, we got. Hey, it's going down today at Out the Mud Studios.
Oh, smell this.
Ooh, it smell good.
look
James
at here, what we got
Mayfield.
going on.
We got George F. Grundy II and Larry Lott. We got some chili here. Who do we have the pleasure? Who we had the pleasure of meeting right now?
My name is Loretta,
Okay,
and as Sam said, we are business partners with Chili Season.
right.
We
about to
decided
taste this
to
chili.
yeah, go
I'm
ahead,
about to
taste
taste this
it.
chili.
Listen, I want to
Tell
put
us
I'm
all
about
the
to
what
stuff
you
taste
on.
think.
this chili. Oh, yeah, you want to dress it up for
Yeah.
real, like you at home.
Yeah, you ain't gonna put no cheese.
Oh my God.
Sour cream.
Oh my
We got
God.
jalapeno.
Oh my
I want
God.
all that.
Are you fronting over there, Tone,
I'm
or is it?
definitely
Or
look.
you just
I'm definitely not fronting. I want a big bowl of this
y'all hear Tone?
with
He
the
ain't-
cheese
he
and
ain't-
everything.
He might do a lot of stuff, but he ain't gonna lie. So
I ain't gonna
y'all
lie,
better
especially
support this because
especially about no food, baby.
Yes, sir,
I would
yes, sir.
tell you. I would tell you if it wasn't right. It's good, baby. I like chicken chili.
Yes, sir.
So
we
listen,
love to hear it.
hey, your partner said you did something else. You do eyelashes or something like that.
So yes, I'm also a licensed esthetician
You do
here in Flint.
extensions?
Yep, lash
Yeah.
extensions, body
Yes,
waxing.
sis.
Yep. Lash strips,
Okay.
individuals, brow wax, brow tint.
So you do
Body
it all. You
waxing.
do it all, baby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And customized facials.
Okay.
skincare.
So if somebody wanted to get facial, how would they get in touch with you?
You can contact me through Facebook or Instagram. My business is Wink at Me Lashes.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
LLC.
Okay.
So yep, that's where you can find me. Wink at Me Lashes.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, that's great. I love new I love businesses coming up here showing their stuff.
Hold on. Tameka ain't said nothing yet.
Hey, so how it is?
What's going on with
That's a
that?
good
That's a
sign.
definitely a
That's a
good
good
sign.
sign.
That's hey,
I-
I'm looking at her.
Look,
You ain't
she
got-
she all about words and she can't get none out. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Dang thing. That's
Hey,
good.
I'm telling you, half. He said we split. So yeah. So
Oh my God.
yeah, this is
I just put that sour cream in there.
yeah.
They can't even get their words together. Look,
It
what's
looks
going on?
good, and
What y'all done put in the
we got
chili?
chicken
It's
chili.
look,
And
it's got
Terralisa, I think she
it's got
Yeah,
corn
she
in
over there
here,
shouting.
baby. This some good stuff.
Terralisa, what you think about what type of chili you got over there? Okay, okay,
Mm.
okay. What is it?
Get my fix.
What is it? Hey, we sitting up on the show. This is
They can hear
great
me.
today.
Y'all can't see me, but y'all can hear me.
This is
So
great today.
you can see I'm be like that man stick his leg out and things. I put my chili
Mm,
down.
mm.
Hype me up.
Oh my God.
Hype me
I,
up.
I'm not a spicy eating food girl, but this is just the right amount of spice
Yeah.
that get your taste buds a
We got that
jumping,
heat.
that
Yep.
make you want to just devour it.
Mhm.
I put all the fixings on here because I want to know what
Bring
it
me
tastes
a bowl back, Tom.
Mhm.
and it's
yeah.
good. It's good, and I'm enjoying it. Thank you for this free
You know I
mix.
gotta check it
I
out.
gotta eat before 8 o'clock because me and Barbara we don't get along so well after 8 o'clock.
Hey,
Let me see you eat it. Look,
we-
you got the face. The face.
hey, so listen, they
No, for
say
real. This
My
good.
lord.
they
Tone,
do
Tone,
delivery.
come on, man. You
you.
got to get the chili off
Is,
the
Oh,
is
chin.
it?
word?
Is
Man. Get
it?
it off
Oh
the
my
chin.
God! Oh my God! It's all right. But hey, listen, these guys they deliver on Fridays. What's the number again? What's the number?
248 747 0393.
Hey, and when you call them, tell them you heard from Out the Mud Inc. Baby.
Yes.
That's
in the bag.
that's what I like. Hey,
Hey, look, Sam. Is
They
there
got
any
the
way that
pop in there.
we can do
How
a
much is the
concession
bag?
of some kind? They get a free chip or some extra cheese or something if
How
they
much is
say
the
out
bag?
of the mud. So if
Yeah.
y'all say out of the mud, we
Out of the
gonna let
mud.
y'all know what's gonna happen.
yeah,
But they gonna work out something so you know the impact that out of the mud is having with local businesses because
right,
we want to make
Yes.
sure that
right,
they make $100,000 before the
right.
summer's out.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. Even more. So let's do it.
All right.
How much
Yeah.
is the bag?
So the turkey and beef $10.
Okay.
Turkey and beef,
and
$10.
the chicken chilies 12.
Okay.
Chicken chili
And it
12.
comes
Yep.
with all the things that's in that
Yep.
bag.
Yeah.
Comes with a
The
combo.
bag is
So
loaded,
yep.
people.
The
Yeah.
Doritos, the
Yeah.
crackers, sour cream, cheese, jalapenos, and
Yeah.
yeah, all the fixings
It's slap.
and a drink.
It's definitely it's definitely I'm glad we got
Look, I
a chance
haven't
to
tasted it yet. I'm about to taste it
taste
now.
your chili. Is I'm not hey I'm not trying to geek this chili up. If it was basic or it wasn't good, I would say it. But I think you guys should go and check
I'm
out
eating
this
the turkey.
chicken chili right here.
I
Yeah,
gotta check it out.
yeah.
All right.
Chili,
I gotta
chili
check it out.
season.
Chili season.
You got to be
Chili
Yes.
I
season.
got some beef chili.
Anytime. Chili
Yeah.
season.
Who's
Better
that?
get you some.
That's Tanisha.
Hi, Tanisha.
Tanisha, how you doing? Hey, so listen,
Y'all, thank
I can't
y'all.
even figure out what to complain about. This stuff is so
It's
good.
nothing.
It's-
Well, you know what? I couldn't decide if I wanted the regular crackers or Doritos. That's my only.
but I'm
That's
up
my
here.
only thing.
I'm eating them both.
I start eating this turkey,
I like the Doritos.
and I'm
first.
thinking like, oh, it's gonna be something.
Yeah.
No, I can't even complain about it. I can't even do no complaining.
right.
No.
I normally don't do
This is great, y'all.
What it look like?
Oh, it's good.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
I ain't even put the toppings on there yet. Because I like to get the essence of something, let it know what it tastes like, see what y'all was actually cooking, and then I put the extra stuff on there.
Texas toast come with it. Grilled cheese. Okay.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yep, grilled cheese sandwich made with Texas toast.
Mm. Oh,
yeah.
dip it in
Mhm.
there.
Carney.
Oh.
I'm down like
$4.
Hey, listen.
Chili con
Why
carne.
I got you up here? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you were here when we were talking about the when we were talking about the
Mandatory DNA.
mandatory DNS. Do you have kids?
I do.
So what do you think about um, doing a mandatory if your husband, boyfriend, or whatever came to you and said, "Hey, I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to put you down or anything, but for both of us, um, I want a DNA test. How would you take that?
Let's see here. I would be offended. I would be low key offended that he would
What?
want a DNA test. Well, me personally,
Why would you be
me and my
offended?
kid's father, we were together for some time anyway, so it was just me and him. So it would be no reason for him to ask for a
But why
DNA
would you
test
be offended?
because that's against my
Violating her trust.
That's that.
religion right there.
That's.
But
I don't.
that's just assurance for him.
Right. It's. I'm not saying that anything's wrong with you, and I'm not saying that. What? Okay. What if the state made it mandatory where you had to do it,
Oh, mandatory?
where you
I
had to do
mean,
it if you wanted any
that do
federal
make the
or
situation a little different if it was mandatory. Then I
Mhm.
wouldn't put no fuss about it. If it's mandatory, then do it.
but if
I
it,
ain't got
But if
nothing to
it
but
worry
came
about.
like,
Won't have nothing to worry about because
that's what I feel like. Hey, if
they,
if 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 it's if you have nothing to worry about, um, hey, let's just go ahead and swab this baby's mouth,
hmm
and we go forward with it, and
there's
everything
no
be.
doubt.
yeah, that would be my first initial reaction though.
You
It
would be
would.
But
offended.
Hmm.
yeah, that would be my first initial reaction. But I
You
take time
think
to
it
process the
was a trust
situation and be
thing?
like, okay, well, let's go ahead and get it done, knock it out.
So
Then I
would you
tell
think
you,
it was a trust? You would think
you gotta
he's
tell you to
not
stop.
he. Nisha, what do you think about that? What do you think about the mandatory DNA test at
Didn't I
work?
just tell you to stop?
I think if you are requesting benefits and kind of assistance from the government, child support, yes, it should be mandatory. Other than that, I don't really want the government in my business like that, so no. But if I'm trying to get child support from this man, or I'm trying to get food stamps or something, then yes, it needs to be mandatory.
But don't you think it's just assuring for a man that he knows for sure that this is his child?
Yeah, and if the woman agrees to that, then that's great. If you don't agree to that, then I'm not required to do anything as the man if
See,
I don't
see,
choose to.
and that's where
Why would you?
That
Why not?
the gray area comes in,
Why would
because
you
if
not agree?
me as a man, if I came to you and said, "Hey, I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not saying that you're cheating, but I would like to have a DNA test," and
Why else would you want to have a DNA test though if you didn't think she was being, if you thought she was being honest and truthful, you wouldn't even ask for a DNA test.
Because
That's
everybody,
true.
mama and
But I would
grandmama
give
and
it to
auntie will
you, and
tell
now
you
I
to
know
get
where we
the DNA
stand.
test
I would
because
give you
Right.
they
that
know
DNA
how
test, but
women
I
is.
know how you feel about me.
And it would say, "Oh, I love you, but I really don't trust you like that." That's the first
Yeah.
thing you gonna think.
all right, Tara.
Is
Thank
HIV test
Well,
mandatory?
thank you. I just want to say thank you for bringing the chili up.
Yes, thank you
The
so
chili is
much.
great. I'm gonna
thank you.
plug you guys in.
I think before
You
marriage.
guys can come up here and do a show by yourself and just talk about
Yes.
your business and your chili.
Cool.
You got my number and everything. I appreciate you guys coming
All
up.
right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank
Thank you,
you.
man. Appreciate you.
All right. Hey, and good luck with the music. We have
Yeah.
open mic. We have open mic, poetry, music, and everything at the
Oh,
Urban Cafe the first and third Sundays of the month. So I think the next one
first
is
and third.
not until June 1st.
Right.
But yes,
Yeah.
Terralisa hosts that.
Yeah. You can
Okay.
come and
Yeah,
do your thing, man.
yeah,
Seriously. We
yeah.
got
Yeah.
we have a lot of people. Um,
Yeah.
he said he didn't want he said he didn't want to get on answering the question. Yeah. Hey, well,
But
listen.
Tom, hey Tom, but look at this though, right? So that's one scenario, right? About the woman getting pregnant and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
what if it was a situation where the mother felt like she already knew she made a mistake by having a baby by this man, and therefore she conceals the father's identity to the daughter
That
or to the
happens
child.
too.
That happens, yes.
That happens all the time.
You know that
Yes.
happens with married couples. Like a woman will creep out on her husband and
Hmm.
have a baby, and by law, it's the husband's baby because they're still married, and
Right.
that man doesn't have any rights
And that's
Right.
crazy.
to his child. Yeah, that's another bad scenario. And like Tara said, it's the woman. It's
Right.
all on the woman,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Like I said, I don't think that a man coming to a woman, not being disrespectful, not just being upfront. If you say, "Hey, this has happened to me before. I went through this situation where I thought this child was mine.
Right.
Found out it wasn't. So now I want to, just for my own well being, I want to make it to where, hey, I know this is my child for better safety for me.
Right.
So I think
But what
that's
I feel that tone. But what I'm asking though is like, you know, the the only reason why that question is being posed is because there's a small percent in our
it could
head
be
as
because of something else though. It doesn't have to
right.
be because I don't trust you.
Okay.
Like I said, it could be because of something that's happened in my life before. So, you know, um,
Yeah.
it's things like that.
I don't put my trust.
I think I think it's a trust thing when you boil it down all the way. You know what I'm saying?
That's trust.
We can say that it happened to me before. We can say it happened to my friend. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
But in all reality is that we have a lack of trust. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
it. Figure that out.
I think if I can come to a woman and be honest with her and say, hey, I do have this lack of trust, and that's why I'm asking you to take this test. I think that'll go a lot further, a
Hey,
lot
no,
further.
that's gonna be how the argument start.
See, and that's what I'm trying to see. What Tamika, if someone came to you and said, "Hey,
I don't trust you.
not I don't trust you," but
That's
said,
what Keith said.
That's what
Hey,
it
I
is.
got
but
a
I
That's
person
said
basically
to
what
trust.
That's
I'm
what
not
it
Because
is.
saying it's a
that,
lack of
that's what
trust.
it is. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
That's what it is.
but that's fine. We can
Listen,
do the test. But I just
first
know
of
where we
all,
stand.
Keith, I'm like this. Okay, let's go. Cause the minute that baby come back in the yours, you gon' catch it, baby.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
But why be
don't catch
mad?
words.
Why
Yeah,
you
but
yeah.
want?
don't be vengeful. Why be
Why is it going to
vengeful?
catch words? Why is it going to?
Because
He's
it's
already
a lack of trust. You
no,
think I'm out here doing
no,
this and
no,
that. That's
no,
what it
no.
But
is.
It's
if he
not
Science.
that.
could get pregnant, if he could get pregnant, wouldn't
We've
you be
already
liking to
said
get a
that it's
DNA
not
test?
Right. Right.
What?
what you say, Tanisha.
If he could get pregnant, wouldn't you say, let me get a DNA test before I start loving and shuffling out all this money for this baby?
Yeah.
Unless we're in a situation where we're supposed to like be in love and trust each other, then you can say I don't care, I love you, I trust you. But if this person has a lack of trust,
It's
then that's
crazy that
fine. You can
women,
have a lack of trust.
most
But I just know where I stand.
most most women don't. Most women feel
Dude,
that disrespectful.
I
They,
don't care.
they feel like if you can't trust that this baby is yours,
So,
then you don't trust me.
as a mother
Right.
and
Exactly.
And that's okay.
as a
Yeah.
mother and as a
That's
sister,
okay.
I
Just
would
so
want my
because
brothers to get DNA tests.
Right.
I would. You don't know.
Right.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like with the aunties, the grandmas, they tell you to get the DNA test. I know about 3 guys that I'm real close with that they did it and they cried afterwards because the kids wasn't theirs.
Right.
Yeah,
And
but
they spent 1, 2, 3, 4 years with the children.
I know people who spent they didn't find out till their children were adults. And that's
Yes.
heartbreaking for
Exactly.
kids too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big lie. That's a huge lie.
it happens
Yeah.
every day. Well, hey,
Yeah.
listen.
That's part.
Hey,
I
hey,
hey,
but Tony, the situation that I brought up about, you know, saying that
Saturday
the
Florida.
person not finding out who their real father was a true event. You know what I mean? And
right.
I'm watching from the outside and listening as the child finds out this information, and the child was just so hurt,
Right.
so um just felt all kind of emotions, you know what I'm saying? Because all she wanted to know is who her daddy was, who not somebody to just, you know what I'm saying, have an idea of. She wanted to know who. And I think if you wanna, you know, start talking about, you know, accountability and all that and stuff like that, I think the man and the women have a accountability to that child, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Because that's
They
who it
have
hurts in the
right,
long run.
Yeah.
right,
Think
yeah,
about this too. The parents, namely the mother, didn't even believe the child was worth the truth.
Woo.
Right.
Like you
No.
don't even have a value of the truth. I
Woo.
don't
Wow.
care what you want
Right.
to deal with when you get older.
Right.
Right.
I'm gonna live with this lie
Lord.
so we can live comfortably. Like I'm in my opinion, because I've seen it. I don't.
I've
Right.
It's
seen it.
different stuff. Different day, but just
How selfish.
why would you do people like that? That's just cognitive
Right.
dissonance to the fifth degree, and
Right.
then
Right.
just
And then be able to hold that for
narcissism,
that long. That's
Right.
cognitive dissonance, and then
Absolutely.
just a sadistic person.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, this today has been a great show. I appreciate everybody called in and with your comments and everything. Next week we're gonna be back here talking about a lot of different stuff that's going on. We didn't talk about football. I was gonna try to talk
Nope.
about football,
Basketball.
basketball. I was gonna try to talk about basketball, but I thought this topic would be interesting to talk about. I do want to say before we go Knicks. I think the Knicks is going to take it. That's what's up. Hey, I love y'all. Check me out next week. Peace.
Love.
And this
Love,
has been
baby.
episode 11 of
Henry.
Let's Talk with
Thanks,
Big
Tanisha
Tone
and,
on Out of the
and
Mud
Pone. I love
Universe.
y'all, baby.
Love you
Love you
too.
All
too.
right.
Great show.
Great show,
Yep.
y'all.
Good show.
You too, Key. You know I love you, baby.
All day, baby. Nothing but love.